Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 69 of Chance Ball, and this one is titled, Here We Go Again. The look on your face must have said it all, and Mr. Totoro waited until all the kids were eating happily, and then he walked over to you. You've taken on a lot, he said knowingly. I thought things would be going differently, you said sadly as he looked at the ground. I think this has been a raving success, he said kindly. The first few lessons will just be introductory. The kids are getting used to you, and you're getting used to them, so give yourself some graces. Thanks, you said sadly. They'll get much better. They're only little, remember? You nodded and looked up at them all munching happily on their watermelon and sighed. You're halfway through the lesson already, he added. Only a little longer to go and you'll be done. Thank you. You don't need to be helping me like this. I'm sorry to have interrupted your day. You must be pulling my leg, he said with surprise. It's lovely to hear the happy sounds of children playing volleyball in my yard. This is a blessing. You smiled at him and then turned your attention back to the kids. Okay, I can do this. I'll have them trained well in no time. After watermelon and a drink of water, you lined the kids up along the veranda and practiced jumping off a few times to tire them out a little so that they would focus for 2 seconds and you could at least teach them the correct way to receive. Once they had tired their little legs out, you stood them up there again and got them to play Simon Says, except it was Yin Says, and you got them to copy some moves and then taught them squishy wrists, where they put their little wrists together in the proper receive formation. Yin Says, touch your nose, she said, pointing to your nose. All of them copied you. Yin Says, squishy wrists, you called, clapping when they all managed to push their little wrists together. Yay! Now hands on hips, you called. All except Emmy put their hands on their hips and you made a wrong buzzer noise to the rest of the class. I didn't say Yin Says, you chatted playfully. But that was good practice, okay. Let's play chasings. I'm going to chase you with the volleyball, and you have to run away, okay? Yeah! Emmy yelled with excitement. The others didn't quite get it, but they cottoned on soon enough when you started chasing Emmy with the volleyball, and she squealed with delight and ran away. So for the last 10 minutes of the lesson, you chased them all around and they giggled and toddled around as you pretended to be the big scary volleyball. Then the mother of the twins turned up and took her boys, which neither of them wanted to leave. And then Emmy's mum came in and she burst into tears and she didn't want to leave. And last was Mio's mum. Little Mio was delighted to see Mummy and ran over to her excitedly, calling out for her to come onto the court. Hello, love. What did you learn today? Her mummy asked her. Squishy withs, Mio lisped. What? The mum asked with confusion. So Mio demonstrated, pushing her wrists together in a perfect receive formation. That's the correct way to receive, you said to the mum, stepping over to educate. She does the squishy wrists very well. Oh, well done, love, the mum praised, much to Mio's delight. Finally they left and you had a chance to play with your little girl. Her and Mio had played a lot together that day and you were stoked that she had made a friend so quickly. Just before your next class started, Dabi turned up to take Koemi home for her nap and you mentally reset for the next group of kids. These kids were a little bit older than your morning kids. 3 2-year-old boys and 2 3-year-old girls. Yoshi turned up first, geared up in the Blue Flames merchandise, complete with volleyball knee pads. Oh, Yoshi, you greeted him by name when his mum introduced him. Do you like the Blue Flames volleyball team? He nodded vigorously. My boyfriend is the ace. Do you know the name of the players? You asked him. He gave you a bit of a blank look, so you looked up at the mum. He loves the guy with the black hair and turquoise eyes with the piercings. I think his name's Todoroki. You're not going to believe this, but that's my boyfriend, you said with a sheepish chuckle. I'm not even joking. No, she exclaimed. Really? Would he be able to sign something for Yoshi? He would love that so much. Oh, I'm sure. I'll get him to sign something next time for Yoshi, you said with a smirk to her, and then grinned at Yoshi, who still hadn't really clicked at what you and his mum were talking about. He said goodbye to his mum, and you gave him a ball to play with, which he tried to throw over the net the second that he got his hands on the ball. The next whirlwind to come flying through the door was Rin, who had bright blue eyes and blonde hair. Volleyball! 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 He chanted as he barreled over to the cart and grabbed 2 balls out and then threw them in all directions. Rin's mum had just dropped him at the door and left without saying anything to you, so you only knew his name because she had pinned his name to his shirt and all you could see was his name tag. The next boy was a very quiet and stoic child named Miru. He didn't look you in the eye at all and didn't speak a word, but liked the flowers along the fence line and wandered over to them to check them out while you chatted with the mum. Then the next lady arrived with Harima, a very pretty and tall 3-year-old who seemed very mature for her age and started practicing with the volleyball right away, bouncing it off her wrists with such ease and precision that you were having a hard time believing she was 3. And last was Aya, who walked in with a scowl on her face as her mum talked on her phone that was sandwiched between ear and shoulder. "Hi, Aya," you greeted the scowling 3-year-old girl while the mum talked business on the phone. She looked away. "Do you want to come play volleyball with me?" you asked. "No," she grunted. "Go and play, Aya. I'll see you soon." "No, I don't wanna," Aya pouted. "Sorry, she's being difficult today," her mum apologised to you while covering the speaker of the phone. Then she turned back to Aya. "If you go and play, I'll buy you the limited edition doll that you wanted this morning." "I want a pink one," Aya demanded. "Okay, I'll get you the pink one. Now go and be good and I'll see you at 2:30. "I want pink one," Aya snapped. "I'm going to go and get it now, okay?" "Now, Mummy," she demanded. Yes, I'm going, okay, I'm going," the mum said and quickly left. "Wow, okay, so I know who runs this family," you thought with surprise. "Okay, Aya, let's go and play." "No," she snapped at you. "Okay, you sit here then and don't play with us, and I'll tell your mummy when she comes back and she won't get you the pink doll," you bluffed. She looked at you in the eye, and you raised an eyebrow at her and stood your ground, and finally, after 3 agonising minutes, she stepped towards you and put her hand out. "Play," she grunted. "Yeah," you said brightly, "let's play." You turned around and called to Harima, who was still practising away. "Harima, let's practice together," you called. "Okay," she sang back with a smile. "Now, how am I going to do this?" you wondered as Harima trotted over and smiled at Aya. Aya just looked away and stared at the ground, so you took the ball from Harima and started bouncing it off your wrists and keeping your arms under it as much as possible. Because there was movement, that caught Aya's eyes, and she looked to see what you were doing. "Count for me, Harima," you said to the bright 3-year-old. 1, she counted as the ball hit your wrist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You deliberately let the ball go off kilter and let it fall off your arms as you pretended to try and catch it to stop it falling to the ground, but failing. "Ah, drats," you clicked your fingers playfully. "How many did I do, Harima?" 7, she announced happily. "Do you think I can do more next time?" you asked as you picked the ball up. "Yeah, you can do 20, she announced. 20, is that 20? "Mm-hmm," Harima nodded enthusiastically. "What about you, Aya? Do you think I can do more than 7? "Do 10, she challenged, putting out the highest number that she could remember. "Alrighty, here we go. You have to count though, otherwise it won't work," you warned. "I can do more if you power me up with counting." By then the boys had stopped what they were doing and watched you as you started to bounce the ball on your wrist, with the 2 girls counting, and by the time they got to 2, Rin was under your feet screaming, "Viable! Viable!" "Yep," you said to him, keeping one eye on him as you tried not to step on him while moving around a bit. "Count for me, Rin." 4, he shouted, as the others got to 7 and then kept going. Good job, Harima chanted, clapping her hands excitedly. Even Aya seemed a lot more engaged, and Miru was watching intently from the flowers. As soon as Aya counted to 10, you fumbled the ball and let it fall to the ground, but pretended that you hadn't meant for it to do that. Well, you must have superpowers, Aya, you said to her as Rin grabbed the ball from the ground and picked it up and then tried to copy what you were doing. You got me to 10. She looked at you with wonder and then mouthed, "Wow," as you turned your attention to everyone. "Okay," you called. "Let me show you how I did that. All come and line up on the veranda." You managed to get them all standing in a line with the ends of their shoes just over the edge. Then you did a round of yin says, just like what you did with the first group, then showed them how to do squishy wrists. Yoshi was very zealous with his squishy wrists and even got into a squat position as well, just like what he'd seen his favourite player on the Blue Flames team do. Miru needed a little bit of help, and you found the best way for him to keep his wrists together was to place a dandelion flower in between them so he'd hold the position. It worked like a charm. After doing that, the kids all sat down for morning tea, and you let them eat their food and have a drink of water before Mr. Totoro walked out to see how everyone was going. "This group's a little bit older than the last," you said to him. "It makes it a lot easier too." "I can see," he said with a smile. "Since everyone's a little more settled, I'll wheel Mrs. Totoro out, if that's okay." "Yes, please bring her out. We'll practice throwing the ball over the net after the kids have had their food," you said. He nodded and disappeared off to get her, while you set the volleyball net up a little lower. What doing? Me help?" Rin asked as he ran over with his juice popper in hand. "It's okay, Rin, I've got it, but thank you. We'll be practicing throwing balls soon, so finish your drink and then we can start." He nodded excitedly and then ran back to the other kids and jumped up on the veranda. "Foul bowl!" he announced to the quiet Miru, who just looked at him and then looked back down to his apple and took another timid bite. Once they had finished up, you called them over to the nets and saw Mr. Totoro in the background wheel Mrs. Totoro out in the wheelchair and set up on the veranda to watch. "Okay," you announced. "Everyone get a ball." You handed out the balls quickly and then stood back. "Now, when I say go, you need to throw the balls over the net. Don't let it touch the net, okay? The net is lava." Rin gasped with astonishment and Yoshi's jaw fell open with surprise. "Is it really lava?" Aya asked sassily. "It's not lava. It's pretend. But the volleyball monster will get you if you touch the net, so beware," you warned in a scary voice. All the kids took your warning to heart and clutched their balls closer to their chest as you readied them for the throw. "Okay, 1, 2, 3, throw!" All the balls went flying over the net except for Miru's. They went straight square into the thatched string and Rin screamed loudly. "Monster!" he hollered and turned and ran in the opposite direction. This set all the others off and poor Miru burst into tears. Hey, it's okay, Miru, the monster only eats loud kids who run away," you said, quickly crouching down in front of him so you could talk to him and calm him down. "Is it gonna eat me?" he asked through sobs while he wiped his eyes. No, it won't eat you, but it might get Rin, because," you looked up to where Rin was still screaming and running in circles like a mad thing, and you chuckled, "because Rin is being so loud." Miru turned his head over his shoulder to see, and stopped sobbing when Rin ran straight into the side of the house and fell over. "I'm okay," Rin called from where he was lying on the ground. A small elderly chuckle wafted over from the veranda, and you looked to see both Mr. Totoro and Mrs. Totoro smiling and chuckling with amusement. Well, if nothing else, I've made their mornings, you thought, as you finally convinced the kids to line back up and try again. What utter chaos! Stay tuned for the next chapter coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.